I remember the first time I saw a picture of a blue whale, which was in a National Geographic magazine. A drawing of the whale and then a tiny human standing beside it. This thing was bigger than any dinosaur. And as an 8-year-old, I couldn't imagine that there was anything that big. I'd followed them since childhood with the absolute design to go and film them myself at some point. And that was 40 years later.
Never had a slate before. It's very exciting.
Dr. Lindsay Porter is a cetacean expert. And Ben Fogle is a UK adventurer.
So Lindsay, just tell me what kind of whales in particular are we looking for?
Today we're looking for the blue whale. There are two different types of blue whale we'll see in the area, the true blues and pygmy blues.
And how do they differ?
Pygmy blues are slightly smaller than true blue whales,
Yeah, when you say slightly smaller, what sort of size are we talking about here?
25 metres.
Lindsay has such a depth of knowledge that she's my first go-to when I've got a question about a
So
whale.
as the currents and the waves come in, they create this very productive front, and this is why we think the animals, that the whales feed here.
So when you say productive front, I imagine krill food is being welled up from deep
Ben
below.
Fogle rowed a boat across the Atlantic. And that meant that he had a sense of adventure. He was a risk taker. From the very first day we saw them blowing, we knew they were there, but they were very hard to reach.
And fluke up on.
These animals can do up to 30 kilometres an hour underwater. And they can stay underwater for a half an hour and go in any direction. When we saw them, we'd follow them, try to get near them, wait for them to come up again, and then just never see them again.
Tell me what I should be listening out for.
For whales, you need to listen for a low frequency monotone. And for dolphins, oh, can you hear it right there?
The
whistles.
high-pitched
The
whistles?
high-pitched whistling, that's dolphins.
That's the dolphins?
That's the group of dolphins we just passed, yeah.
How far away do you think they are now?
They'll still be within a kilometre.
That's a long way for it to
It is
go.
a long way, yeah. It's a big ocean, they've got to talk to each other over distance.
Isn't that incredible?
We travelled up and down, 50 miles off the coast for 2 weeks, trying to get close to these animals. We ran out of time. We started heading back to port.
Oh, look, look.
At 2 o'clock, and another blow 4, and it looks like he's going to fluke up and dive. So he'll probably be down for another 10 minutes or so.
They look like freight trains, like enormous spaceships that just travel effortlessly. Every piece of them looked like something I'd seen on a re-engineered on an aircraft or on a supercar. When they fluke, they arch like that. Their tail comes up vertically and drops straight in the water, and you can barely hear a sound.
Wow, look at that. Wow! That is just beautiful.
It's the first time that we believe that anyone has ever filmed a juvenile pygmy blue whale underwater.
What do you think it's from, Alex? Is it from a ship?
We were in the Indian Ocean off the coast of Sri Lanka, where there hasn't been any commercial fishing because of the civil war. The beaches have been closed for up to 30 years. We thought this was a relatively pristine environment.
Floating on the surface, the metre below, was just this horrible, crappy, emulsified mess of oil and bits of, it's horrible. And looking through it, you can see the tendrils of the net hanging down. That was certainly one of the most unpleasant dives I've ever done.
I spent my childhood in the sea. Growing up in Grand Cayman, we didn't have organized sports after school. We didn't even have a TV until I was 13, so the sea was my playground. As a freediver, it was the place where I proved myself to myself by traveling to the absolute edge of myself. I need to put as much oxygen in my blood as possible so that I can hold my breath for the 3.5 to 4 minutes that the dive is going to take me.